with another Spike session. I think very interesting one this time. We want to build the product end of the day, right? So we thought, I think, bringing in two seasoned individuals in the product space to give you some insights on not only just building products, but also build to thrive during chaos. So they will talk about a lot of insights in terms of their journey. But before we get into that session, please write a LinkedIn post and maybe just post 3 things that you were able to take out of the session as insights. And then that will also give us an idea of how the session helped you guys, and also how to improve it as well. And we also do have our WhatsApp community, so I invite you all to join that as well. You can talk to anyone from the Spike team and get connected with that, so you can see the new things that are happening, new opportunities that we have. Everything will be posted there, so I invite you guys to join on that group. Another exciting news, we just started our YouTube channel as well. So the videos that we take from these sessions and we recorded our previous sessions, and we started putting them out as like long form as well as short form content on YouTube. So I invite you guys to go and subscribe to that as well. So that will be one of the other channels that we will be focused on building. And with that, I think I'll hand over the mic to Sachin to kind of introduce the speakers today. Just a change of model, I think, like the last time. This time we are going to do this in more of a panel discussion format. So rather than 2 individual speakers going next to each other, we thought of doing a panel discussion that will be moderated by one of our individual from the startup community itself. That way it would be much better and it will add more value to you guys. And as usual, at the end, we will go ahead with our Q&A. And if there are any interested startups, we can do the pitching session as well, the pitch roast. If you guys are interested, you guys can tell us and then come here and pitch your startup in 60 seconds and we'll give you feedback as well. So yeah, with that, I'll hand it over to Sachin.
Hi guys, you all hear me? So today is very interesting guys, because today we've let two of our own startup founders talk to us, and it's going to be moderated by another person of our own as well, who has been coming to Spike for a very long time and is a budding entrepreneur as well. So to introduce them, let me start off with Kanishka. So if you come to Spike before, there's no way that you could have missed Kanishka even though he's in the audience. And you'll know why once he comes here. Right? So Kanishka has been a pioneering fintech startup entrepreneur, and he'll tell his story. He has had about 1,000 times growth, which is tremendous. So he now holds a company. He owns 2 companies, namely DirectPay and PayMedia, which are large enterprises having about 160 employees within them. So startup to that, he has grown his company, and we are going to listen to him and understand how he did it, so that we also can do the same. On the other hand, Tharindu is another startup founder who has been in this game for very close to 10 years. I know some of us, maybe me, I was starting school about 10 years ago. I'm kidding, but yeah, so some of us might not even have thought of starting our own 10 years ago. Tharindu had his startup back then as well. And these startups are mainly focused into customer engagement side. They are namely ShoutOUT, Engage, ShoutOUT Loyalty, and he also has conversational AI tools, and they work in about 10 countries. So that will be a lot to learn from them. And not forgetting our moderator for the day, she is our very own Hashma, who, like you and us from this community, who has been here before. You might have seen her as well, because she, whenever we ask for Q&A, she has questions, and I think she pitched the last time also. Right? So Hashma is a edtech. She was very specific. I'm going to miss some of it also on her introduction. So she's an edtech startup founder, and she has a recruitment startup as well, which is called Talent Global. And so the stage is open to them. Hashma, Kanishka and Tharindu, we shall listen to you from now on.
for Kanishka and Tharindu. Good evening to both of you. And Sachin already gave us a really good introduction to both of them. But I'm just going to tell something. So apparently, both Kanishka and Tharindu have been in their respective industries for 10 years. How awesome is that, right? How awesome is that? And also, from startup to scale up to enterprise, they've gone through all 3 stages of the journey in the company. So, with this newfound energy of all of you coming in front, I want to put your hands together again for Tharindu and Kanishka. Come on, louder, come on, with each energy. Awesome. Alright, so the topic today is growth hacking, right? So when I first heard the topic, I was like, okay, growth, right? Hacking, what does it actually mean? So according to Google and ChatGPT actually, it means that it's a marketing strategy focused on rapidly growing a company's customer base using 2 pointers, low cost and innovative techniques, right? So both of which our panel today are amazingly experienced and of course, they know their stuff, right? So very first question to both of you. Welcome Kanishka and Tharindu. And both of you have, of course, achieved remarkable growth in your respective businesses, right? Can you briefly share your growth journey and what inspired both of you to SaaS and fintech perspective?
Right. Thank you very much and happy to be at Spike. Actually, I work at Spike almost every Sunday and it's very early stage at Spike as well. And happy to see how it has grown. So, it's continuing as well. So I'm Tharindu. I'm the founder of ShoutOUT Labs. So ShoutOUT Labs we started in 2015. Prior to that, I started a company called Spa Mobile when I was in university. So primarily that was a product we built for like a business product, and we actually grown that product to Nigeria at that time. Around 500,000 subscribers. And in 2015, we started the ShoutOUT as a software as a service company. Basically, we wanted to build our own products. So we built ShoutOUT, and then almost like 4 to 5 years, we actually working on this product and went through different stages and tried to grow it in different markets. And in 2020, we tried to scale into different other products as well. So today, actively we are doing 4 products in ShoutOUT, connected to ShoutOUT ecosystem, and also we are actually doing a product in the US market as well. So each of these products are in different stages. Like in ShoutOUT, we have around 700 users, and also other products are also having subscribers in different stages. And yeah, so that's the story.
So first of all, Spike team, thank you very much for having me here, and I think lovely audience. So my story starts when I was at the age of 19. I started my first startup and failed, and I failed another 3 startups. And PayMedia was my 4th startup, which I started lately. I don't want to advise. Right? So what we did was we started off thinking at a problem where we wanted to solve. That is the cash usage in Sri Lanka. If you look at Sri Lanka, is 95% cash. Everywhere you go, you see cash. So we started off doing cash deposit machines where banks could automate accepting cash. So we did almost about 4 years, and in 2016 we saw a bigger problem in the market, which was how people could get paid digitally. Right. So that's where early stage of IPGs and QR was a discussion. So we formed a company in 2018 as Direct Pay, which was catering into the gap in the market. So that basically I think came up to about 1000% growth during last 5 years. And we provide almost all the services in digital payments, QR, cards, bank transfers, all of those things, even passport terminals. And On the other hand, the PayMedia, the parent company, provides software solutions for banks, finance companies, and telcos in order for them to do transactions better. So whole movement is around financial technology, where we help banks and the ecosystem to do better transactions. And for the customers, for you guys, to have a better experience in payments. So that has been our journey so far.
Awesome. So 1000x growth you mentioned, right? So I was just doing my financials and I realized compared to last year, this was only 10x growth for me. So 1000x is a huge number, right? So Kanishka, how did you do it? I mean, not just like the know-hows, right? So most of the people in the audience today are just budding founders, how to just starting off. But what are the key strategies in terms of decision and strategy that propel you to get this exponential growth in such a short time frame?
Right. So when we started in 2018, there were two other IPG providers in the market. I mean, we were the lowest. We were doing millions. Today we do billions. So if you look at the last 5 years, right, we had three challenges. First one was the East attack. Then we had COVID, and then we had the economic crisis. Right. So what we saw was, especially in COVID, there was a good opportunity for digital payments. As everybody knows, touching currency was a quite challenging thing, and we were locked down at home. We had the money in the bank account, but there was no way of going and accessing it. Right. So that actually gave us quite a lot of opportunity, and the technique that we used was pivoting. So we pivoted whatever possible ways in order to suit the market demand and market need. So different industries we went and digitized. So some of the insurance industry today we lead the market. So we did the complete digitalization of payments. Then for retail and also several other industries, we went and gave a solution, and that basically led us to grow this. And also, you need to look at what market actually provides. Look at Sri Lanka, it's a very good market. There is a lot of opportunities. So as I said, it's a 95% market. That means I have a 95% opportunity to grow. Right? Because 95% cash. Right? There is cash in my best friend as well as the enemy for others. Right? So I basically try to give them solutions where much as possible to pay.
Thank you, Kanishka. So coming back to our customer service guru, Mr. Tharindu. So when you started off right at the beginning, how did you get from that one customer to 100 customers? I'm sure maybe 1 to 10 is a different ideology, strategies and stuff. When you get that 100 customer, it's a whole other strategy level. So how do you achieve that? You achieve global level scaling, and for the past 10 years, I'm sure you can have some insights for our audience.
Right. So when we actually we are in the product business. So when we started, actually we want to personalize the message, customer messaging, basically for what businesses are sending messages to the customer should be personalized. So that was our initial problem we were trying to solve. At that time, actually we were trying to do several things to acquire customers. But even now, based on all these learnings, so if we do it today, and also we are actually growing our few of the products from 10 to 100 as well. So now, what we actually following right now, a few steps that I would break it down. One is like the cold outreach. So cold outreach, when we hear cold outreach, it's sort of boring marketing technique because probably you think about like cold emailing and cold calling. But we're actually trying to combine all these technologies as a one way of kind of like reaching the customers as cold outreach. We actually identify who is our ideal customer profile, which is one of the key aspects to identify who is the target market. And then we use tools like Apollo to identify this customer segment. And then we set up multiple ways that we can reach out those potential clients. So let's say we want to target, like we want to go to the let's say my target market is CIOs in the banking industry, then I can actually set up these call email sequences to reach out to these clients. But we are not just doing the emailing, we are actually trying to combine different other tactics in this call outreach. One is like we send email campaigns and we can see like who are clicking on our links or like opens, and then we can combine the calling as well, so that we know this is a potential, probably a potential client, then randomly call people, and also you can reach them out on WhatsApp personally. So once you have sent an email and probably reach out through LinkedIn, and after that it's easy for you to actually reach out to them on calls or WhatsApp because they remember your name. So that's one strategy, because 10 to 100 is one of the, you need to reach out to the clients in the personalized way, and you have to, the founder has to lead that process as well. That's one of the main things. And also like we do now newsletters as well, because newsletter we create more value, like we bring insights and all these things, and we know like who are the top customers, like top subscribers actually, who are clicking mostly, and then we can reaching out to those people also. So these are like you can do like in the cheapest way and also the fastest way to reach out client. You can obviously do paid ads and all these things, retargeting, but you need to have certain customer base for spending a lot of money on the paid ads, but you can actually do this strategy like call outreach strategy level. That's, I think, that you can actually bring customers from 10 to 100. So that's the process actually I will follow if when I read you a SaaS, and that's my idea.
So Tharindu has redefined cold outreach for us. Something you mentioned, right? Your ICP, your ideal customer profile. Can you tell us more how you define what your ICP is, and also how do you understand when planning go-to-market exactly what your ICP is? Because at each stage you need cold calling and going to market stages, right? So how do you define your ICP in your particular scenario?
Okay, so ICP is, as I mentioned, it's ideal customer profile. So when you do any product or even when you are doing a service, you have to identify who is your potential client. So sometimes we start with, okay, I'm going for industry, but industry is not the your ideal customer profile. So you have to go more deep into that, right? What is your industry and what is your what's their like number of customers, and what is their probably revenue if you can find out, and where are they based in. So all these different things that you have to look at, and when you actually list on your ideal customer profile, it's easy for you to actually identify the problem on that market. Another thing is like your ideal customer profile can be changed time to time. So when we actually do our product, we also run like gradually we think retail is the best customer for us, but sometimes we figure out like CPG, like consumer packaged goods are actually even more potential for us. So likewise, when you pitch to the market, then you can redefine your ICP, but we have to start somewhere. We have to identify the ideal customer profile and go for that market. Otherwise, if you are broadening your ICP, then probably you are doing something nobody wants, and also you are adding a lot of additional stuff to your product, and it can get more confused. So I think identify your ideal customer profile is one of the key aspects. Once you have that, there are tools that you can find your customers, like primarily use Amazon as well, finding tool. Then you can use Sales Navigator and tools to find out that ICP.
So the stage where we've all been, I'm assuming, is producing something as a product or service that the customers probably not need, right? So having an ICP is absolutely critical for a startup. So Kanishka, when we had a conversation, you mentioned how you reduce your customers from 400 to 100. That's something very controversial to me. To me, I would want to expand my customer base, but Kanishka had reduced it and gone from scale up to enterprise. How did you do it and why, to be honest?
To be honest, if I had 1,000 customers, it's 1,000 headaches, right? When you reduce to 100, you're only having 100 headaches, right? So that was the honest story. So if you look at every business has a different kind of a KPI to understand what's best measurement criteria, right? Having large number of customers doesn't actually make sense for a fintech business. It's basically the number of transactions and your ticket size. Right? So even though if you have less number of customers, if they do more transactions and their ticket size is higher, average is higher, then your throughput is good. Right? So what we looked at is we evaluated and looked at what is the exact value that we bought from one of our customers. Right? So we curtailed to that and we let go most of the customers. I think we were about 450 and we curtailed it down to 120. 120 was customers who were actually making sense for us. So that was the metrics that we used, because having more number of customers is good, but it needs to make business sense. Otherwise, it doesn't basically help you. And the other aspect is you reduce the number of customers and you provide more quality service for them, so that you start getting from the customer more transactions and more revenue. So it's a different argument, right? But it has worked really well for us.
If I was to ask the same question from Tharindu, he's going to come in a completely opposite reply. Right? Tharindu, do you believe in hyper customization? Go on.
It works.
But not for you. So, growth for Tharindu is completely different reply. You can see what you have to say about your growth.
Yeah, so we actually trying to build pure SaaS products. That means like the same products trying to sell it for many customers as well. So we have actually this, as I said, like we have 4 products that we the loyalty solution that we are building has actually we also has to do certain customization like from the customers, but we are not really doing customization. We try to reduce as much as possible, but certain things we are trying to improve on them and also do certain things as well. But overall, like I'm trying to build products that pure SaaS model, like one can like to serve to like a larger market and one common problem for many customer segments. So that's we are trying to do, and so I'm not trying to build a bigger team that we have keep that as much as possible. So then if we have like a lot of customization, I have to do the for the customization, and even like the very first product still is our service product has customers actually they using our product, we have a decent traffic and trial creation every day, and they actually request send IDs and then they purchase by themselves. We are not developing a lot of things around there, our product is there and we have one customer support as well, but it's running. I mean, people are actually using and people are buying. So that's the sort of products that I want to do. Build SaaS model and scale to many customers. There are now concepts like vertical SaaS that means you're actually serving a very niche market, but still for that niche market, not the customization. But actually, if you are going for enterprise, like you have to do certain customization, and if you're doing that, then probably your product architecture has to develop in a way that do it in without much hassle. Because sometimes if you are doing the coding or like integrating the code base for different plans, it can get complicated in the long run. So even if you are doing customization, I think you have to just properly do the customization.
Tharindu, that's the exact same approach I use for my company as well. So with MCQ Med and TDS, both my tech startups, we focus on volume. We've got more than 10,000 students and they purchase very bite-sized question papers, topic tests. So I completely understand your model. But Kanishka, can you talk about some benefits? Sorry, Tharindu, can you talk about benefits of this model that you have approached in terms of volume and how it can benefit startups to become a scale-up? It's a small team, mind you. I mean, that's something we unheard of. So how did you achieve it, and what do you think are benefits of such an approach?
Yeah, it's always you are not trying to make a big operation. So I'm a fan of having a big operation. So that's why I try to keep a lean. So there are actually even like if you look at the global market, there are sometimes $1 million MRR people actually generating with very small. So that's a SaaS model. Like so that when you're actually doing the pure SaaS, only pure SaaS is like it's a software, but like people can actually people can same set of group of people users can use the same product. So the benefit is like one thing is like the team size, and also if you are building one product, so scalability is much higher. It can be pretty challenging as well because if you are not identifying the proper problem, which is can be served to a big market, then you are probably stuck with scaling. Even we have that with when we start ShoutOUT Labs. We were actually starting at a very competitive market. This was our very first product, and we were entering the competitive market. Even we are building this SaaS solution. It was very hard to scale the product in that market. So that's there are side as well. Like building this SaaS model, like it can be pretty challenging to scale that as well because there can be a lot of competition and sometimes you are not really building that people want. That's one of the challenge. Yeah, so, but I think the team size, scaling, those are
So we spoke about business here, how to go from 0 to 100, and then we spoke about ICT, right? But how do you get those customers? So I have a question for both of you, right? So can you share some experiences in building effective sales funnels? Because of course, your metric for identifying your growth scale would obviously be the number of customers, and probably the metrics would differ with each company and business model, but at the end of the day, it's customers, right? The number of customers who pay you and how much they pay you in terms of in Kanishka's perspective, right? So how do you build effective sales funnels and manage customer relationships?
Right. So I'll start off with sales. Now, sales is something which you, as an entrepreneur, it's an everyday job, right? Sales is something which you need to do things right. One is winning the customer's trust, right? So how much your product or service is good or can be perfect, right? If you do not win the customer's trust, you're not going to develop the same. Second thing is, right, you can sell a product or service just by pushing it, right? But nobody will be interested in buying that unless otherwise it solves a problem, right? So one of the techniques that we use was we always try to see and understand what are the pain points of our customers. Sometimes it's not our customers, it's basically beyond that, it's their customers. So our customers, consumers. Right. So it's basically looking at what's our customers, consumers, and what potential challenges they have. So you need to basically look at a bigger picture and solve it, right? So that's where. So when you try to solve that, you automatically get the signals. So looking at what the market is now, I mean fintech. Fintech is a very diversified market. The markets are changing, and always there should be some amount of certain amount of effort needs to be done in terms of pivot. So that's where we were able to get the multiple solutions. And also looking at the various challenges, because now when you're in a market where the market keeps on changing very rapidly, you need to also be able to pivot and try different solutions. Now for us, we have two sides of customers. We have banks and financial institutions, which are bigger customers. As I said, solutioning is the first approach. Second approach is you need to be the customer, right? Other than that, there is no sales. Right? So you need to build a track record. So for the last 10 years, that's what some of the investments what we have done, building a track record. Right? And second part is basically on the transaction business. There, what we look at is basically how do you find a good customer who can give you a large chunk of transactions. Right? So we generally don't market. I don't think anybody would have seen direct pay marketing, but we get at least about 10 customers walking every month. And from that, we don't take everybody because we wanted to basically see who can give us a large portion. But then that it's not our set of customers that we want.
That's an interesting approach. So, Tharindu, give me your insights.
The sales funnel. So as I said, like now, so we actually, I said like we are doing some point outreach and all these things. So I would look at like doing a SaaS product. I look at it two ways. Like one is like product-led sales, and also like product-led sales as well, and also the sales-led product-led growth and sales-led growth. So we actually combine two together. So we do, as I said, like we do outreach and we bring leads to our sales funnel. So we use sales CRM called Pipe, right? So we all the potential leads who has a signal that who has sort of a willingness to buy our product, so when they actually refer sales CRM. So then we have different stages in the sales CRM. So our main goal is to get the demos. So that is our KPIs, like how many demos that we can do per month. And after that, we are actually moving these clients from this initial contact to the closing stage. So then we do several activities on that, particularly like getting the demos of first activity, and then we do certain follow-ups to close that to get that customer. Follow-up is also different way, like we have had some value when we are doing follow-ups, so not just like if you are asking our purchasing, are you buying from us? So rather than doing that, we have to add some value, like you can send some information or like case studies or some of the reports that probably you are preparing, so that could add more value. And also during this period, like all our leads coming to our pipeline, we are adding newsletter as well. So because newsletter is much more credibility as Kanishka also said, like it can be trust. It shows that we are doing something like this. And also another thing is actually we have stage which is all. So if the customers are getting unresponsive, most of the time actually customers are getting unresponsive, they are even not saying that no to us, but they just go unresponsive. So then we put them into a hold. We are not market as lost, but we keep them in a hold. So after a few months or probably even a year, we actually release those deals. Actually, we have those deals as well. Recently also, because after like 1 year, we follow up with them and we actually close that deal as well. So that's mostly sales-based growth. And we follow that sales-led growth very early stage of ShoutOUT Labs, but we are not doing managing a sales funnel for ShoutOUT SMS product. It is, as I said, like it creates trials and people are actually going through that journey, and the product itself is growing. And also we actually started a new product in the US market with one of the partners there, and that is also completely product-led growth. Like we are not doing managing sales funnel. Like It's actually on a marketplace and people are automatically going to that. But we are using few other things, like we look at what are the customer actions in our product. We use tools like Hotjar to see like where are they actually navigating in our product, because since we are not getting direct feedback from the customer, then we actually have to identify what these customers are doing on our product. So we can use products like Hotjar to identify how to navigate into the product, where they start these things, and also some of the email communication when we sign up and when they do certain actions and drive the customers. It's also funnel, but sales like funnel, so you have to drive the customer.
Another one more thing is corporate partnerships that I commented earlier. So one of the things that we have done with, like if you look at MasterCard, we have this strategic alliance partnership for Sri Lanka and Maldives. So that also gives a lot of reference to us. And we also partnered with Huawei. So they also funnel us a certain amount of leads and traffic. So having corporate partnership is also one of the piggybacking strategies where you can get more volume of business.
That's amazing insight point of view. So Tharindu was more like, let's do cold outreach and let's go strategize cold outreach all together, put up a funnel and product versus service product versus sales that you two different approaches altogether, right? And Kanishka, you mentioned how a founder's business is to sell. That's basically what a founder is meant to do, right? So you also mentioned how you went sales funnels, partnerships and all that. But all of these strategies specifically, how do you think has helped with growth in your company going from startup to scale up to enterprise in this case?
Yeah, so that's a very important thing. So we have been at a startup stage, I think early 2014, when we both started. Then probably it was 2018 to 22, we were at a scale up, right? And today, if you look at, we are full enterprise. So 3 different environments, 3 different challenges. Your team, when you were at startup, you have a limited number of team. Today, at the enterprise level, we have almost 160 people. So managing skills, competencies, funding different business lines, verticals. So all of these are quite challenging things. Right. So a couple of things what I would share is when you're actually going from startup to scale up, you need to be ready. Right? If you're not ready, you're going to mess up a lot of things with your customers. Especially when you're transferring from scale up to enterprise, that's a bigger jump because the expectations are completely different and the clientele whom you are going to meet is completely different. Right. So as an entrepreneur, as I said, the daily job is to sell, right? So you need to have your tech ready, you need to run from wherever you go, you start selling, right? So you need to also be prepared to identify which level of customer you are actually reaching. So those are some of the things that you need to carry as you do, right? And very important when you are with these 3 jumps, to have your presence and the personal brand. Because you can't basically go in enterprise and act as startup. Right? You're going to screw up the whole thing. So different challenges, and you need to be ready to the challenges and identify each level where you are, and based on that you need to prepare yourself.
So around 5 years ago, I met this startup founder at Spike at Ashworths. He kept on pitching this idea over and over again. It got annoying at some point, but guess what? I ended up buying it. And I'm still using it to this day. So hey, always keep pitching, always keep selling. It's basically your job as a founder to be excellent at doing it, right? If you're an excellent seller, that makes you an excellent founder. And with that note, Tharindu, so you did mention cold outreach as one of the approaches you use to sell. Like what are the others? I'm pretty curious about.
Yeah, for me, as I said, like we have the approach, like we actually did so short we started, we did sales led growth, and then we build certain SEO aspect as well. So right now actually our initial products are SMS has certain good traffic, and also we are getting daily sign-ups, and that is actually converting into the customers automatically. They actually grab the product. So that SEO is one of the aspects that for a long term growth. And other thing is like marketplace, as I said, like we have this application on Clover Marketplace. So marketplaces are actually really good way of building a product for a specific marketplace. And automatically you are actually getting the organic traffic. There are certain challenges in marketplaces as well. If you are building something on like Shopify, it's all lot of crowd. It's a crowded marketplace. But if you are building your Amazon and you are building some plugins or plugins marketplace, it could actually work, and probably have to do some work to get notified to customers as well. So as I said, like the marketplace is over, marketplace is actually results for us. And other things like we did some product hunt campaigns very early stage. It didn't really convert customers, but it get a lot of attention as well. Like we were able to get traffic from different countries. When you do product hunt, I also see some of the SaaS products, they actually launching a product hunt, but the catching launching a product hunt is actually how to be either first or second or third, because otherwise you're not going to get yeah. And first time we only launched it on time, and we actually became the second product of the day. We actually did a pre-campaign. We have to do a campaign. We have a pre-campaign on getting the users to sign up prior, and we are launching on this date, and we got a little bit of audience build. And also we thought like, because we realized that having 200, 300 would be enough for become the first product of the day. If somebody is actually launching a very attractive, disruptive product, from they get a lot of votes. But we actually did a campaign, and then we also get a lot of new sign-ups. Like people actually started supporting us, they created new accounts. But because of that, our ratings went down, because product hunt is so smart to identify the genuine votes. Like if you are doing a campaign, like if people actually creating a new product hunt account and vote you, they will degrade degrading. So you will start losing votes. So we were the first product of the day, and we started losing a lot of votes, and we became the second. But still, we got second product of the day, and so we have to plan that product campaigns. And even the conference or like exhibitions are, we tried early stage. I think we went to Barcelona, this oil events, a lot of events in Singapore, the local exhibitions, but it really didn't work for us. But recently we actually participated in a conference in Sri Lanka. We didn't get much of attention, like we got like a few meetings. But after that we got the email list, and we started seeing we actually get a lot of responses after that, because our headline was email. Actually we didn't get it was like 7 email, but it actually people can see that we meet, and they actually respond to that. We get like a 10% response rate in that. Getting a 10%, if you're doing emailing, getting 10% response is like magic. So if you are going for conferences, I think doing a pre-campaigning, like you can network with those guys prior or after that, because otherwise conference or exhibitions are not generating enough leads or leads. But it's good for the brand. Those are fantastic.
amazing insight that is. So, core outreach, strategic outreach, different methods, getting it down to pipeline. And product hunt, which was not very common in Sri Lanka, I can say, but it works, right? So, guys, I was just told I'm actually free to open the floor to questions. So, anybody here who has a question for Tharindu or Kanishka, this is the time to ask. I remember last time there was somebody who wanted to start a fintech startup, and he was actually pretty passionate. He's like, I'm here today.
How like a certain method that you can use to track user journey throughout the application. Do you have any like recommendations or applications that we use to do it? I believe Hotjar is one of them, but do you have any other recommendations?
Microsoft has one. Hotjar is also not so expensive. You have a $5 package. But if you're starting out, still it's expensive. Clarity. So you can use Microsoft Clarity. Hotjar has a lot of insights. We are actually tracking. Now they have a lot of insights, like when the customers actually they are stuck within a certain. They get the U-turns and all this.
Hotjar actually gives you heat maps as to how your customer, where your customer clicks, where the mouse moves, where they scroll speed and all that to the website. So understand what is going to suit your customer or not, right?
So I believe in the Sri Lankan market, one of the biggest companies all have is PayMedia for Bhaja. So in terms of comparing payment packages, I would say it's a difference between 0.07, if I'm not mistaken, the commission rates. So you mentioned about you all have a growth rate of 1000x over the past previous year, right? So may I know what kind of actions you took to stay out of the competition, and what kind of strategies that you all utilized to
Danica, we actually don't compete, right? We had no strategy from day number one to convert a single customer failure, right? So they basically came to a different market segment, that is SME and micro SMEs who want to do. Our strategy was B2B. We are looking at large corporates and large ticket size. So from day number one, we never competed. The second thing is, so if you look at fintech in a domain, right, there are multiple ways of doing it. So payments, card processing is only one, right? You have bank transfers, you have then fund disbursement, you have just a web, right? There are multiple technologies that you can look at. So when we look at the growth, you also need to target where each and every pocket which can bring you different types of revenue. So our strategy was always looking at the whole big picture, 360 degrees, and that is where we do. So if you look at combined effect of directory and you look at PayMedia, we don't actually have a combined competition. Right? So if you have PayMedia alone to take, yes, there are competitors. If you take directory alone, there are competitors, but as a combined effort, there is no competitors right now. So that has given us a two things. First mover advantage, because every solution we give has an embedded payment option. Right? So none of our other competitors is competing, providing hands-on kind of transaction. The software doesn't have an engine. At the same time, wherever we go and give the solution to a company on B2B, we have a complete development arm which can integrate the ERPs to core systems. So that is where we actually have, I would say, growing 1000x in these 5 years.
So, ShoutOUT Labs is about building a SMS marketing funnel and for all the SMS marketing requirements. So, just enlighten us. So, we have. So, I'm running a take-it campaign. So, we are doing like the social media marketing path, but we have rarely used SMS marketing yet for our business. So the main reason because we are not clear how to utilize SMS marketing and how to build a SMS marketing funnel to get conversions. So can you tell us, if we are to use SMS marketing for our business, so our main clientele is students, undergraduates. So how can we use an SMS? How can we build a SMS marketing funnel to increase our sales?
So as I said, like we initially started ShoutOUT Labs to personalize marketing like messages between from businesses to the customers. So we add some personalization to our messages, SMS messages, and we build a very convenient product. So if you take like ShoutOUT, if you go to shoutout.com, you can register and you can. Our promise is actually to start running a SMS gateway within 5 minutes, and you can actually do that. Like basically, you can get SMS gateway and you get the application, and you can start running. But the only thing is like regulation purposes, we have to get the sender ID is registered, like your passing registered. Apart from that, everything you can do it by yourself. So our mission was to actually make the marketing messages personalized, but also we faced a challenge. I'm just giving background on the problem. We also faced a challenge with a lot of competition in the market, like the telcos are actually giving for very low price, even they have a very bad products, but still price is a like competition for us. So we actually got a lot of traction from the startups, and almost lots of startups actually use our product, customers, users here as well, like who are using our product. And after that, we actually change our product ecosystem. Like we actually scale our product ecosystem further. So if you look at our 2020, we changed our product ecosystem. Like we introduced our loyalty management solution, which is we wanted to like make it customization, like personalization, to go into a next stage, because lots of customers have customer data, like businesses have customer data and proper segmentation. So that serves with our loyalty management system, which comes with loyalty and customer data management, campaigns, and everything in that platform. Right, then also we have the conversation AI tool, like to automate the customer communication with like in different channels. For you, like if you build sales funnel, I don't think only SMS would work. That's why we are also before cold outreach. We are not just sticking to one channel, so it has to be multiple channels that we have embedded into your sales funnel. So SMS can be a one channel. If you look for your question, like mostly our loyalty management solution has like a better funnel that you can build. Like you can collect customer data, you can properly segment, because loyalty is a vehicle for you to get more of customers. Then you can do better segmentation, and then after you can build outreach channel like automations and campaigns, so that we have product. So the SMS is just like our first product, and we have started after that.
So basically, marketing is an impact package, right? For those of you who are looking at ShoutOUT, the website is getshoutout.com, right?
Yeah, that's the SMS, but if you go to ShoutOUT Labs.io, you can see.
You get the entire package. So apparently, Dilma is one of their customers. And there's a guy who says we find pretty much every SMS solution out there, and ShoutOUT is by far the best. So good to that. Awesome. So on the topic of challenges, Tharindu. So this question is for Kanishka. So you specifically mentioned how you face challenges in 3 different locations. Number 1 was instant ads, you mentioned. Number 2 was COVID-19, and third was economic crisis. So as someone who's gone from startup to enterprise, how did you overcome each of these challenges as a founder and also as a company?
Okay, so I think that's a very good question. So I'll start off with COVID, right? So COVID, as I was explaining you, cash was one of the restricted products. So the alternative was basically Google Payments. So that's where we took a good 40% growth month on month. That was a huge growth for us, right? Second thing was, when it came to economic crisis, right? One of the good things that Central Bank and Ministry of Finance did was they put a restriction on most of the banks to pay out in dollars to the service providers. That's an opportunity where a local company could step up and give the solutions. So that's why we acquired almost about we serve 16 banks out of 26 banks in Sri Lanka and a couple of finance companies, and also he became a vendor for central bank. Right? So that's why you need to be ready with the opportunities. So economic crisis actually gave us quite a lot of opportunities, and also the banks to look for a local provider. And we were there, and that's where we stepped in.
Awesome. So basically, find opportunity in the crisis you were guys, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So crisis is always, remember, is a door opener, right? The moment the crisis is over, there will be new opportunities. There is a horizon of opportunity to open up. So you have to be ready during the crisis period to take that opportunity.
On that note of problems and solutions, so Tharindu, did you face any challenges? I'm sure you have. That is, facing a challenge is sometimes the backbone of being a founder. So what are the challenges you face? How did you overcome this?
Yeah, definitely. So when it comes to us, actually, we are in the engagement space. That's where actually customers would probably not spending as their first priority. So we had actually a little bit of a rollback in that sense. But we, in the COVID period, actually, we started a new product avenue, our conversation AI solution, because we saw that as an opportunity that people are actually selling online, and people are getting used to online solutions. So there should be better customer support service for these online services. So that's why we built this omnichannel customer support platform, which connects these multiple customer communication queries, lead generation to different channels like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, into a single platform, and also any conversation like comment this conversation. So that product is actually now growing pretty faster than before, because now with the Gen AI, we integrate Gen AI, and now everybody needs a chatbot, I think, to run a business. It's a continuing market as well. But I think going forward, every business needs AI agents, AI support, AI lead generation. So I think what we started by then, now actually we results as well. That was another thing. And also we actually open up for other markets, because we also start talking to the local market, because the business nature was like people like we try to meet people and people say, but COVID has changed that we can reach outside market easily, we can get online meetings. So that trend continues as well. So after that, before COVID actually we had a lot of global business, but now we have actually our products in 10 countries. So that was also driving for us to go into a global market. So that's how we do that.
Vikrant, I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
So Tharindu, now you started with the SMS gateway. How did you figure out what was next? Now you have 4 products, and they are also in the same customer engagement, more or less like vertically integrated. Right? How did you figure out which product was next, and did it come to you, or did you have to do some ideation and figure out what you were going to do next?
I know you also have the same experience, like you always think about ideas. So first product is actually I didn't have a plan to start this gateway. We started this SMS game that was actually had good results, and I got some experience in the SMS domain and how this SMS game and all. So that's why we actually started as a SaaS product for businesses to communicate, send SMSs easily, for developers to integrate SMS to their application. So that was the product that we developed with our experience in the business. So after that, when we actually go into the market with this SMS product, we realized our focus was personalization, like personalized messages and all, but we also realized that a lot of customers doesn't have enough data for personalization. So we realized we found opportunities, there are more things that we can do in this space. So that's why we touch upon loyalty, and since we also have this communication aspect, now people are actually going into omni-channel space. So all these probabilities for the market. So that's how we actually came up with these different ideas, converted into products as well. Still, actually, we are trying a few things with products in no-code tools. We have that with the team, 2 people on no-code systems, and if you can be that's also good.
As someone who uses make.com almost every day, I find that I would probably be your best customer, right? Alright guys, so how many of you here are in the tech space? Software engineers, quality assurance engineers. Ooh, I see some of you. Alright, awesome. So I am going to read the marketing in a Kanishka version. Kanishka said, Ashma, this is your opportunity to do marketing. Market yourself. So I am the founder of an agency called Tharindu, where we help tech people like yourselves, engineers, find remote jobs abroad, right? Like in US, UK, and Australia, and something. So hit me up, I'll be here. I can probably find a job for you, no guarantees. Are you awesome? You believe in yourself. Alright. So Kanishka, you mentioned about pivoting and how pivoting has led you on multiple locations to where you are today. So how does pivoting affect how your startup's situation help you become enterprise? How did you identify when to pivot as well?
Right. So I'll start off telling you how I actually started getting paid. For 14 times, I have basically reached in front of the central bank to get an approval. So 14 times they rejected, straight through, saying no, right? 15th time they gave a offer and said, okay, you can try it out, right? So by the time we tried it out, actually there were 4 other payment apps in the market, right? So they were big boys, they all had deep pockets where they could put money into promotions, 70% off deals, 50% off deals, and we were a startup, we never had that much of money. So it was a no game for us. So what we did was we thought, okay, now how do we basically, having the product done, how do we actually make money out of this, right? So what we did was we thought for a second and thought, okay, now all the banks and finance companies are also trying to become fintechs. So we tapped on each and everybody's door and said, hey look, if you want to have a fintech app, we'll provide you a white label product, right? And the strategy was basically for us to have our platform with multiple banks and finance platforms where they will promote and do their transactions and they will use our platform. In today, if you virtually look at, we have the largest user base because platform basically provides services for almost about 16 banks and financial institutes. And if you take one financial institute, they only have their customers, but I have 12 of them. So that was the pivoting strategy that we used, and the pivoting had worked. And also we did a little bit of pivoting in different payment space, from card payments to QR payments to bank transfers, funds disbursement. All of those were trying out things. So each one has given us different results, and whichever gave us best results, we have invested on developing that sector.
Kanishka, you would like to mention which banks? Maybe not today.
Top 5 banks.
Oh my god, alright, we have a giant here! Big hands, round of applause for Kanishka. Awesome, man. So when Tiaga owner, I don't know your name now, Tiaga owner, right? That's how I know it. So Tiaga guy mentioned that these two are giants and he was not lying, right? Giants indeed. Awesome. So on the note of pivoting, Tharindu, have you pivoted at any point in your startup journey and how has that helped you grow?
Yeah, we did actually. So at the time of actually we did business product, we actually when we started the product, we were adding lots of additional features that customers were asking, and after like 2 years, 3 years actually, initially become a mess. So because we got like to get the customers, we have got more features, and then they have incomplete features as well. So then we actually scrape everything and like change interface and we stop all the other features that customers are not using or less using, and that's way of pivot as well. And also pivoting is one is product pivoting, and also we need our customer segment pivoting as well, like this customer segment that we want to go, like so startups and small businesses are using our mostly because they can be convenience for them. So then customer segmentation will pivot, and also need more products in the ecosystem is one of the key pivoting moment, because we are actually stuck with one product, especially with the competition and all, but after we added certain other products, we could actually capture a bigger market and so grow with each product. So that's another great movement for us, like introduce more products and grow ecosystem properly. That's also
It's a fine line between satisfying all the customers wants to actually, find that line is important, right?
So basically, we are running a cybersecurity consulting business, so service business we are doing. So recently, I'm having a challenge. Challenge in the sense, we literally have three baseline business domains. Like one is consulting, like the ISOs and the PCIs and stuff like that. And the second one is testing domain, that is where we do penetration testing and stuff. And the third one is we are having training. So at a point, I was thinking, rather than having all of the stuff in my plate, I thought of actually specializing, and I chose the consulting. So, but I was decently getting businesses, even now we are getting a decent business for consulting. But when we actually approaching specializing consulting, at a point the very client still asks for another service that is like, for example, a pen test, and sometimes training. So sometimes, since I was actually finding a particular domain, I literally didn't have much people for other ones, right? So either I should be depending on me, or I have to again hire people for other ones. So I just need your insights on, do you think this specializing onto one domain and going ahead would be a better idea, or should I just have everything in my plate again and cover a broader spectrum?
Right? There are so many scams, there are so many attacks which is happening. You get last month the entire banking ecosystem in Sri Lanka got hacked, right? So the three channels which you have goes hand in hand, and I think you're in the right track. And you have to create a sales funnel based on these three areas. I would not say don't drop any of them, right? Concentrate on all three, because your expertise on consulting, right, will definitely have a requirement for pen testing, right? And the people who train will bring you business back. Because if you start training people, today they might be a junior level, but in 2 years or 3 years time, they graduate and become assistant managers, right? They will give you business. So don't leave anything, focus on all three, and specialize on the cyber security domain.
Thank you so much. This is something I was actually finding it difficult to take a decision on how to go forward. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So we got a decision making right here at Spike. So Spike is known to be for founders, by founders, right? So by founders, for founders. It's a founder-based community. So actually, final question. As leaders in Sri Lankan fintech and SaaS space, what's the advice you would give for the founders out here in terms of advice today, and also what you see in the future for younger entrepreneurs in 10 years from now?
Right. Okay. So for budding entrepreneurs, the first advice is always support another startup. Right? I have become a major customer of Tharindu when we went 10 years before in Barcelona, even though they are both from Sri Lanka. Right? Always try to give some sort of a business and a lead and a support for another startup. That will actually lift us all up. Right? So that's something, even though there are corporate opportunities and things, I still promote to giving a business to a startup, because that will create a good vibrant ecosystem. Second thing is, you need to focus on your domain. Now, even though we get so many other verticals of business, we don't take it up. We only focus on fintech, right? So you need to understand your domain. What's your sector, domain in that side, and focus on that. On that particular domain, do 365. Do everything in that domain. But don't cross the domain, right? Third thing is, right, startup is a kind of a race, right? There are so many obstacles, so many challenges, and you have so many moments to give up, right? You need to have that burning desire, mindset, and also the gut to face any challenges. So as I earlier said, every economic crisis is an opportunity for startups. Because startups can think of different business models. Maybe the existing business, you can think of a different business model because there will be always an edge when a crisis happens. So that's the best time to embark your journey or to scale up or to probably do a kind of a leapfrog. So be ready for that moment.
Mindset and gut. Wow, I felt that. Tharindu.
Yeah, so I think if you have not started, I think you have to start now. There is no better time to start. So, because on the go, actually, you have to validate your idea, and so you have to start somewhere. And if you have started and if you are in this stage, I think the biggest thing we have to do is validate our idea. So we have to find what we are building is actually whether solving a problem and whether we are actually building it for the right customer as well. And also one thing that we did in the early stage is like trying to add so many things in the product and it's getting messier. But also like trying to keep very focused on what we are doing at early stage. Maybe not doing too much things, but do it in that the problem around that, what's the solution that you are giving. So do it properly and then you can actually find customers in that domain. And also like some things, the things that we did wrong is like at few points actually we had customer like did certain POCs and integrations for to get large customers. Sometimes startups they're just not giving like they are not like probably those need and value probably not those necessary, so they are trying to stick into like large corporates to get deals for you. So focus on your product and do it right and build a sales funnel. Your sales is keeping for you. I think that's what I can.
Awesome, Tharindu. One thing that stuck with me is what you mentioned about you have an idea, you would validate it fast. Validate it fast. So everybody here who has startup ideas, you can do a shorthand. Some of you have ideas for startup, not started yet, got ideas, want to write. So at the front you got three. So start it, validate it fast, guys. Awesome. So do we have any questions from the audience?
No, I think we move on to the pitching round.
Awesome. So thank you, Tharindu and Kanishka, for being an amazing panel. And big round of applause for both of them for taking their time.
For who have been here before, you might remember that there was like a pitch roast session that we had the last time. And we want to host it this time as well. Okay, he doesn't want to. Probably doesn't like you all this time.
Guys, this is your opportunity to pitch and get real feedback from the audience. This is your opportunity to pitch to someone and then get potential clients, potential partnerships. You are at a startup event. If you can't come here and then pitch for 2 minutes or 45 seconds, I don't know how you're going to go and pitch in front of a customer. So you have 45 seconds to 2 minutes to come and pitch your business to an audience, get feedback, and potentially find some partners.
See all of you guys.
So I have a startup. It's an outsourcing company. We're focusing on virtual assistants, which is kind of helping to remote assistants. We cover admin support, operations support, social media management, absolutely anything that can be done virtually. And currently we're working with a few Australian clients, but we're hoping to branch out to other regions as well. So if you'd like to know more, you can reach out to me, contact with me. And I also have a community for women called Nina, where it's focused on just giving tips on professional development, personal development, and things like that. We're having a few events coming up. So if you're interested in joining this community, please come and speak to me. Thank you so much.
How can someone find more information about your business?
So we have our Instagram and Facebook. We also have a website, synergixglobal.com. And you can actually come and speak to me, and I'll invite them back out and do it.
Okay. What are the industries that you are specialized in?
So far we have a few. We have a UGC platform that we're working with. We're coming with tasks for them. We have an educational institute that's also working with us. It actually open to all types of industries because virtual assistance is applicable to any industry.
Do you have any Sri Lankan customers? Any Sri Lankan customers?
No, but I have Sri Lankans in other countries as my customers. That's actually most of my clients that I know.
Right. If somebody wants to help you find clients, how can they do it?
If they want to help me find clients, I mean,
Recommend?
yeah. We also are working on a referral program, so any clients that refer to me, you will get a commission in return. So if you're interested, yeah.
Alright, fantastic. Thank you so much, Nadia.
Hi guys, so I'm Bokutu Siddharth. You must have seen me on social media. I'm a content creator. And I had no plans of starting an agency. I started all this starting creating content, organic content recent, like since 2 years back. And clients, most of the big names called me because they wanted assistance. I never knew about agencies, nothing. I was just doing content for fun. I do relatable comedy content on mainly on TikTok and on social media platforms too. Now I'm moving into YouTube because that's the place where we get the revenue. And right now I have few clients. I don't even have a brand yet, but I'm going as a Bokutu group. So my agency's name is Bokutu Mine, and I did have an event on the 25th. That went fire. Okay, I did that event in 10 days. All the companies who do events, they were like, Masan, don't do. 10 days is not enough to market. No, stop, don't do that. You are going to get into a huge risk. So it was all my money I put invested. I couldn't find a sponsor because it was not enough time, you know. Within 10 days, finding a sponsor is not easy. So I put all my money in my family told me not to do, everyone told me not to do, but I believed on something and I went for it. I committed, I went for it, and it was a great success. I did it on top of industry. So I got like 400 people moving crowd, and that was good ticket sales, and I went to a loss to be honest, but that loss brought me something else. That event brought me something else for the next event. I got so many contacts, so many people. If you all know Branch, David, he got very close to me. He was very happy about the event. And so right now, for the agency, I'm all good. So if you guys want, I boosting. So boosting is something that most of the business do. Even the bigger brands, Coca-Cola, Sprite, you name it, they spend a lot for their advertisements. Is it okay that I told the brand names? No problem. So they spend a lot for the advertisement and they boost. But what I see is when you find the organic content, like when you are doing social media, organic content is a key. The concept is a key. So I promote that side, and that's how I that's how I give confidence to my clients. I have few clients right now for my agency. The reason I came here, the main reason why I came here is for my next event. So after I got lost, I confirmed a date. I mean, I saw the potential in the events. You can learn a lot. Like within small, like few days, you can learn a lot. So next event is going to be on December, 28th of December. It's going to be a Christmas event. I'm planning of keeping it on a rooftop.
So it's going to be a branch event, level to level. So all I need right now is sponsors. I'll be giving you benefits and I'll be giving you I'll be setting the proposal and what sponsor benefits you are getting. So yes, why I came here was to the event that I'm going to keep on the December 28th. That's going to be a branch event based on Christmas.
So good evening everyone. I'm Kanishka Weeramunda. I'm part of East Asia Real Estate. So what we are doing is we provide real estate market analytics. So what we are doing is before someone is going to buy or sell the property, we provide that area analytics. So we tell them the current market, according to price, according to the price and listing, and historically how the patient has performed over the last 5 years and future availability. So for example, if you are saying buying land in Navala, when you come to our website, we give you a snapshot of current Navala future price moves. If you buy and purchase in Navala, we tell you what are the price. So maybe we tell you what are the rents. And if you want to see how it has performed in the last 5 years, if you get investment, we tell you what to value. And future, we give you more insight on how it's going to move. So we consider service. So we have a few stats and a few local customers who go ahead as investment that they are buy. And currently, they are positioning towards the product. They are already mentioned, we mentioned that can be purchased from our website. And in addition to that, we have also included seller insights. So if you are a broker, if you are a real estate agent, moving into the real estate domain, you have funded plan, we tell you what other players in the market. So if you want to sell or buy a land, in addition to knowing the price, how the price has moved, or the price will be, we tell you what other sellers in the region and what will be the price and everything. So if you are looking to buy or sell, before you go and put the ad in, you can't go to the website or call a broker, just come to our website, this is the website. You can contact us here. Me and Ravi, the co-founder, right there. So before buying and selling property, just come to the website and see how the land, how the region has performed. And then with that knowledge, now we can test one of the brokers, one of the estate, one of the agent, and get the what that is there.
Can you tell your website again? Spelling?
ESTALES.com. So
what kind of customers are you looking for? How can
So we are looking at two customers. The first is a normal regular customer. People who are looking to buy a land or buy a house, something like that. So the normal regular customer. So we are mainly focusing on the people or rather medium to small scale real estate agents. Let's say who have 10, 15 lakh and they want to buy. Or a broker who has contact and they want to sell some of their clients. So whoever who wants to buy a land or a house or who have set of lands or houses to sell or to buy, they can sell. So if you know anyone in that domain, you can
So Spy November is going to come to an end. Did you all love it? Yes? Did you all love it? Nice. So big thank you to Kanishka. So they are very, very busy, but they still made it a point to come to this event. We had to talk to them for about a month or even more to get them to come today. So thank you very much again for sharing your story of success and how telling us the story of how we can kind of learn from that as budding entrepreneur. And thank you to Hashma as well for all that elaborate questioning. It was very much in detail and we love your energy on the stage today. And yes, thank you finally for everyone who came to Spike and who keep on coming. And to also the Barefoot Garden Cafe people, the management. And not forgetting our sponsors for the day.